Jessica L.P. Weeks' Dictators at War and Peace is a compelling examination of the relationship between regime type and international conflict. Published in 2014, the book challenges conventional wisdom that views all authoritarian regimes as uniformly aggressive or reckless in foreign policy. Weeks offers a nuanced classification of dictatorships, arguing that the internal dynamics of these regimes shape their decisions regarding war and peace. The book combines theoretical innovation with empirical analysis, making a significant contribution to the fields of international relations, comparative politics, and conflict studies. Below is an in-depth analysis of Weeks' arguments, methodologies, and findings. Key argument and theoretical framework. The central argument of Dictators at War and Peace is that not all authoritarian regimes behave the same way in the international arena. Weeks categorizes authoritarian regimes into three main types. 1. Personalist regimes, where power is concentrated in a single leader with minimal institutional constraints. 2. Single-party regimes, where a dominant party shares power and constrains the leader. 3. Military regimes, where the military as an institution controls the government. Weeks contends that the level of accountability and domestic constraints within these regimes profoundly influences their behavior. In personalist regimes, where leaders face few checks on their authority, they are more likely to engage in risky and reckless wars. Conversely, single-party and military regimes tend to exhibit more calculated decision-making, as leaders in these systems are accountable to elites or institutional structures that can remove them from power. By introducing this typology, Weeks challenges the monolithic view of authoritarian regimes and underscores the importance of understanding domestic political structures when analyzing international behavior. Dictators and international conflict. Weeks demonstrates that leaders in personalist regimes often have strong incentives to initiate conflicts to bolster their legitimacy or distract from domestic issues. These leaders may also miscalculate the likelihood of victory due to their isolation from accurate information, as subordinates are often afraid to contradict them. This dynamic leads to a higher propensity for these regimes to initiate wars and persist in conflicts, even when the costs outweigh the benefits. On the other hand, single-party and military regimes are more likely to avoid unnecessary wars due to the presence of elite groups that can restrain leaders. These elites have a vested interest in preserving the regime and are less willing to support costly conflicts that might destabilize the system. As a result, these regimes are generally more cautious in their foreign policy. Empirical analysis. Weeks supports her theoretical claims with an impressive array of empirical evidence, drawing on historical case studies and statistical analyses. She examines conflicts involving various types of authoritarian regimes, from Saddam Hussein's Iraq to the military junta in Argentina. By analyzing these cases, Weeks highlights the divergent decision-making processes in different types of authoritarian regimes. One of the book's most striking insights is that personalist regimes are not only more likely to start wars, but also more likely to lose them. This finding underscores the dangers of unchecked power and poor information flows in personalist systems. Conversely, single-party and military regimes, while not immune to conflict, are more likely to pursue wars they can win, and to seek peace when the costs of war become unsustainable. Weeks also employs quantitative methods to analyze patterns of conflict across regime types. Her findings confirm that regime type is a significant predictor of war initiation and outcomes. This rigorous combination of qualitative and quantitative analysis strengthens the book's overall argument and demonstrates the importance of integrating multiple methodologies in political science research. Implications for international relations. The book has profound implications for both theory and policy. For theorists, Weeks's work challenges the assumption that authoritarian regimes are inherently more belligerent than democracies. Instead, she shows that the variation within authoritarian regimes is just as important as the distinction between democracies and dictatorships. This insight calls for a more nuanced approach to studying regime type and conflict. For policymakers, Dictators at War and Peace provides valuable guidance for dealing with authoritarian regimes. By understanding the internal dynamics of different types of dictatorships, policymakers can better anticipate their behavior and tailor strategies accordingly. For example, engaging a single-party regime like China might require different tactics than dealing with a personalist regime like North Korea. Framework offers a roadmap for identifying the unique challenges and opportunities presented by each type of regime. Critiques and limitations. While Dictators at War and Peace is widely praised for its originality and rigor, it is not without its limitations. One critique is that Week's typology, while useful, may oversimplify the complexities of authoritarian regimes. In reality, many regimes exhibit hybrid characteristics, making it difficult to neatly categorize them. For example, Vladimir Putin's Russia combines elements of personalism, party dominance, and military influence, complicating its classification. Another limitation is the book's focus on war initiation and outcomes, which may overlook other important aspects of authoritarian foreign policy, such as coercive diplomacy, economic statecraft, and alliance formation. Expanding the scope of analysis could provide a more comprehensive understanding of how regime type influences international behavior. Additionally, some critics argue that Week's reliance on historical case studies, while illustrative, may not fully capture contemporary dynamics. The evolving nature of authoritarianism, particularly in the digital age, raises new questions about how regime type interacts with technology, public opinion, and global norms. Broader contributions. Despite these critiques, Dictators at War and Peace remains a landmark contribution to the study of authoritarianism and international conflict. Week's innovative typology has inspired a wave of research exploring the links between domestic politics and foreign policy. Her work also bridges the gap between comparative politics and international relations, demonstrating the value of integrating insights from both subfields. Moreover, the book highlights the importance of accountability and institutional constraints in shaping leaders' behavior. This insight has broader implications for understanding governance and decision-making in both authoritarian and democratic systems. Jessica L.P. Week's Dictators at War and Peace is a groundbreaking study that challenges conventional wisdom about authoritarian regimes and international conflict. By introducing a nuanced typology of dictatorships and analyzing their behavior in war and peace, Weeks provides a richer understanding of the interplay between domestic politics and foreign policy. Her work is a testament to the power of rigorous scholarship and a valuable resource for scholars, policymakers, and anyone interested in the dynamics of authoritarianism and international relations. While not without its limitations, the book's insights have enduring relevance and offer a vital framework for analyzing the behavior of authoritarian regimes in an increasingly complex world. Let me know